Welcome to the Save Par Golf Podcast. We're very excited about episode 74 as we welcome Jeremy with SHTSHW Tour to the podcast. The SHTSHW Tour is a golf club that is truly by everyone for everyone. They create a space where golfers both new to the game as well as seasoned vets can play the same group, have fun, and have a legitimate chance of winning. Their Instagram handle is at SHTSHW Tour. Jeremy, thanks so much for taking the time and joining us on the podcast.
Awesome. Thank you, fellas, for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely. That was kind of a lot right there. I had to I felt like I was rapping for a second. I had to take a breath.
I think you pulled that straight from my my website, right? So
I did.
I tend to have long sentences, so I get it. Yeah.
No, it's totally cool. I liked it. That's why I kind of use it. Sometimes I just we create our own for the most part, but I liked it, so we decided to take that. But yeah, if you want to just kind of tell us a little bit about yourself and ultimately why you decided to start the SHTSHW Tour.
Sure.
Can we join, can we join it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Honorary members.
Yeah, how does that work? Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
We're not out in California.
Yeah, obviously. But yeah, you're gonna be out soon. So if you're out here for a while, we can get you set up with actual handicap through the NCGA out here, and you can play in one of our events if that worked out. That'd be awesome. We actually am trying to work on doing a virtual tour setup as well, so we can have people all over the US, wherever they're at, compete at their local courses and post scores and have rankings that way too. Yeah, that'd be awesome. But right now we were just local to Northern California right now. So we have we go from the Bay Area up to Sacramento, and we do a couple travel courses that go up to Mount Shasta, Reno, down to Monterey, but mostly in the Northern California area for sure. And we got members all over the place too, which is awesome. We got guys that go all the way from, I don't know how familiar you guys are with the Northern California area, but
really, it's going to be our first time out there.
You know what's
funny?
Oh,
it is. Well, that's exciting.
Northern California anyway. Yeah.
Well, I've never been there, period. But I was because we have a food group and we just send each other videos of food. And on my Instagram, I just keep seeing stuff from LA. And I was like, yeah, we could go to LA, right? I was like, it can't be that far. It's like 6 hours. 6 hours.
It's far. Yeah.
I was like,
it's
what
a drive. California's humongous.
Yeah, California's huge, but yeah, when you haven't really been there or been in a while, it's California. It's if it's in California, it's fine.
Well, that
can make it happen.
That's kind of my thought process.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it is here, right? It's in Minnesota, you're oh, it's only a few hours. That's not too bad,
right?
From here to Duluth, it's 2.5, 3.
Yeah, our chat too is literally our page is almost more more food than golf right now, which is kind of funny because we're all about golf. But
and everyone in the chat's from California, other than one.
Yeah.
One.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's all these California people, us, and then Brendan from Duff and Up, and we're just well,
East Coast. Yeah,
it's somewhere in California, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, but food is a unitional language, though. Come on, everybody loves it.
That's what I
always talk about it.
We'll definitely be picking your brain on some places to definitely hit up when we're out there. But yeah, so did you have a background in golf and growing up?
Yeah.
Did you play golf?
I did, yeah. So I started playing golf when I was 12 years old. My dad took me out, got me lessons at our local golf course, Cordova Golf Course, your little. I don't want to call it a dirt track, but it's kind of like that. It's $10 to go play it. But that's where I learned how to play the game and fell in love with the game. I played in high school. I did all right. It wasn't probably shot in my best score I think in high school was probably mid to high 80s.
Okay. That's pretty solid
in
high school, though.
It's not bad for high school, but in Northern California, high school golf is insane. It's so competitive. I played with one guy that shot 6 under on one of the rounds I played with. I was like, oh, I'm not in this league. This is wild. I can't.
You're happy with an 85, and this guy's 60, 4,
yeah,
65.
It's crazy. So golf's always been a big passion of mine. I played basketball. I played soccer growing up, and I played golf. Golf is just one of those sports you could just play forever, right? So it's one of those things that's just extended through the rest of my life. I got all my buddies to play it as well, taught them how to play, and we had a group of about 10 of us. 10 of my buddies I've known my entire life, which has been dope, but it took them so long to actually play this game that I love. And then once they started doing it, they fell in love with it too. And so really this club originated out of COVID. That was the only thing you could do was play golf, right? That was it. And And so we started doing like a tournament every couple months just with me and the guys. And there was 10 of us. And then I was like, oh, this is really cool. Maybe we can make something more out of it. So I started like actually like creating like real setup tournaments and having a championship. And it went so well. I was like, maybe we can make this official with the USGA and the NCGA, which is the local chapter of the USGA out here in Northern California. And I got it set up, and it was like one click of the button when I put it on Facebook to see what would happen. And sure enough, the response was amazing. Like people part of it has to do with probably the name. That's kind of what I went for, was trying to take away like all the scariness of like joining a club and make it more fun and inviting for everybody. And
tactic there.
Yeah, it did. Thank you. Yeah, it worked. It was effective. And so yeah, people started clicking join and being members, and it's just been growing nonstop ever since. It's been really exciting. So we're in season 2 right now, and we just passed 100 members, and we got 103 right now. We started with 10 just about a year and a half ago. So been great.
Yeah, that's a pretty big growth rate for sure. Is that do you do this on the side? Do you do, or is this like a full-time type of deal, or is it more of a like kind of I don't want to say like a side hustle, but there's a lot of work that goes into it, I'd imagine. So is it something that you kind of devote your majority of your time to?
Yeah, it's something I'd like to devote the majority of my time to if it could pay the bills, but unfortunately it doesn't. So this is technically just my side passion, basically. I love the game of golf. I love creating things, making events, bringing people together. So that's why I've created this. And that's what I probably spend a little too much time every week on it, probably about 20 hours a week, but I do have a regular 9 to 5. So I do work in financial technology as an account manager. So that's my day-to-day job. But because I work remote, it frees me up to be able to like work on this kind of my baby that I've been creating. So that's
is it pretty much as you right now running the show? I mean, I definitely want to talk about the different tournaments, because you have, I think, 17 or 18 tournaments right now. Mm-hmm. But is that something that you're running by yourself, or do you have like someone helping you out on each one of these tournaments?
So I do everything by myself, with the exception that I do have my like board of directors. We have 9 of us guys, the guys that I've known forever. Mostly we call them the founding fathers, the guys that I've grown up with. We're the ones that basically created the league.
I love it.
So I bounce ideas off them and try to make sure that tournaments are going to work out right. But logistically and operationally and financially, everything day to day is run through myself. So it can get a little overwhelming sometimes, but for the most part, I love this shit. It's fun.
It's addicting. And like you said, like with the, I mean, even with the social media, the Instagram stuff, I don't even really, they have that Instagram tool where you can actually see how many hours and time you like spend on Instagram. Majority of it is posting and all these kind of things that you're trying to create, but it is very addicting, and it is one of those things where like I don't think about all the how many hours that you put into it. It's a lot, but it at the end of the day, it's worth it. You meet so many cool people, and we were just talking about the group of guys that we talked to with the food chat. It's really golf. It's a golf chat, but kind of turned into a food chat. But just it's very cool. Like how like I don't want to say like it pays off, but the community behind it is what really makes it special.
Yeah, that's what it's about, right? Like you build the community and everything else comes along with it. And you meet some really cool people. Like it's badass what you guys have created with Save Par. They're a massive account, like with so many people, and everybody loves what you guys put out there. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I've had a couple like fanboy moments because like obviously we're I feel like the podcast is like starting to really boom. Like we just hit 900 and now we're almost at 1,000.
Yeah, it's grown
like fast. So like when Dontrell Willis followed us, he was a pitcher for for the Marlins. I was like,
that's big.
My god, like, that's Dontrell Willis. Yeah.
You get a blue check mark following you, that's legit.
That's like, sure. Like I know who you are. I don't have the heart to message him because like I don't think he'd even open it, but like I know who you are.
Right. No, it's very humbling, and you don't obviously want to just look at the blue check marks, but it is kind of cool to see those kind of those accounts that.
Well, yeah, you had the guy from the Big Bang Theory follow you.
Yeah, Raj just followed me. Yeah. And so did Gabriel Davis.
Gabe Davis.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. He's actually kind of a stick. I don't know if you've seen some of his golf videos. That guy can
I haven't.
The ball. Yeah, it's pretty good. But I've seen
back.
What's
I
that?
was just gonna say, like, I just actually listened today to your podcast with Bob from Bob Does Sports.
Oh
And
yeah.
I love that guy. He's freaking awesome, man.
We did that so early on. That was before Bob Does Sports.
Yeah, it was like he was just
it was
really
just brilliantly dumb, right? Yeah.
Yes. Yep. And that's the other kind of thing that kind of goes full circle is like the whole purpose with the Safe Par Golf thing. It started off with just like posting photos and videos, but like once I was growing quite a bit, I'm like, this is a really good platform to like help other companies and other people grow. And like I remember when he first started, like he would send me DMs all the time of like when he was going to like the tournaments, and like essentially that's kind of I mean he's talked about it before, not necessarily like my account specifically, but like you get like Zaire Golf and all these big accounts that start like pushing that kind of stuff, and the next thing you know, like now he's got like deals all over the place. So it's like that's kind of the whole cool thing about this is like that's not necessarily what I'm here to like try to like help make somebody go famous, but it is really cool to like help people grow in their business and their company and their brand.
You also had Garrett from GM Golf.
Yeah,
like,
Garrett. Yeah, Garrett.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. It's very cool, and it's awesome to see like how well the Instagram, like the influencer, like it just like you said, it kind of goes full circle. It's pretty interesting to see how successful some of these people are. So.
So you can partially say that Safe Par's out here launching careers. Come on, man.
I don't want to go that far.
GM blowing up and sports.
Right. No, you say I don't want to go that far, but at the end of the day, like that is kind of the whole goal. Like we love having different guests on from all different types of facets of like a lot of them come from, like you said, like you've been playing golf, since you were 12, but a lot of these companies are like these different Instagram influencers who started coming right out of COVID. And it's like, I really would like to know like what the number of golfers have started since COVID, because it would be like kind of mind blowing. Cause I think like, I'd say like 70% of our podcasters, well, no, that's maybe too high, but a lot of them that we talk about, they started their business during COVID, which is even more impressive. That's such a terrible situation and they make such a positive impact. So, but enough of the Safe Par. We want to really talk. I mean, it's really cool, but we want to definitely dive into like kind of what you're bringing to the table, because I find it very interesting and it's very cool. So you have like over 17 or 18 competitive events over across 30 golf courses in the Northern California, Sacramento area. How did that happen? What are the different types of events? I know you have different memberships. Can you kind of maybe just run through a little bit of that and kind of give us some insight?
Yeah, sure. The 17 events probably comes from an addiction of setting these up and playing golf. That's probably it, because it's way more than most clubs do. And at times I'm like, oh, that's probably a little bit too much, because it is a lot of work to put each one of these on. But man, at the end of it, when everybody has a great time, it's totally worth it. So I try to set it up so that we do 17 events at a different course every single time. Because club golf tends to be people playing the same course over and over again all year long, and it's usually the same guys winning every single year. It's not just conducive with like regular people having fun on the golf course. I'm trying to find that market of people that love the game. A lot of them came from COVID, that don't really want to mess with club golf, but want to play, still get that competitive juices flowing that they used to get, say, in high school or college. Sure. So that's kind of what I'm trying to create. That's why there's so many tournaments. That's why there's so many different golf courses and so many different formats, a lot of team formats, because I think team golf is the most fun golf. Dude, I love that shit. Like when we play the alternate shot or best ball, those are some of the best events we have.
Do you play two-man teams or four-man teams? How does that typically work on your?
So for us, we try to make it so that every event is USGA postable. So you're going to walk away with a postable score. A lot of clubs, not to say it's wrong, but a lot of clubs do scrambles a lot, which are fun. I like a scramble, but it's not a postable, and it's not really a competitive event. You always get these controversies, which I'm sure you saw with the teams shooting at 47. Yeah. They look like they could barely shoot like a 75. So like that type of shit happens, and I try to avoid that. So when you have a handicap and the tournament is regulated, then you can still have fun, but you still know it's going to be a fair competition at the end of the day. So yeah, all of our events are either 2-man or single, individual, and net events. So we have 3 divisions. So depending on where you stand, You could be like a 0 through 10 handicap, 11 through 20 handicap, or 20 and above. You're going to have your own division, play against players of similar caliber. It keeps it fun and exciting.
Is it a pretty wide range of golfers from as far as like the handicap aspect?
It definitely is. Yeah. When you call your tour the Shit Show Tour, you're going to get all sorts of different handicaps for sure. So our average handicap right now, I think, is like an 18.3. So yeah, okay. Our average guy is shooting mid 90s to the hundreds. That's about average. Then we got a few guys.
Get right in. Get right in.
That's what I always tell people, because they get intimidated. That's what's so cool about Instagram, is because they'll DM and be like, I really want to join, but like, I shoot like 98, 100, 110. I'm like, no, that's like the average. So you'd be fine.
That's
like,
the person we're looking for. Jump right in.
Yeah, come right in. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, we have some scratch guys, but then we also got guys that have 40 handicaps. So we have a great range. Which just keeps the competition fun.
As far as like the USGA, was it hard to actually get that like approved like through your events, or how did that work?
That was my question. That sounds like a pain in the ass to set up.
It is at first, for sure. It's more hard just to figure out how to do it, right? Once you do it, it's actually fairly easy. Because all it is a simple application, and then you have to have at least 10 members in your team, which that's not a lot. You can find like I had 10 of my buddies, so we were able to all sign up. I have my club now; it's official. And the USGA takes about 2 weeks to look over your website, make sure everything's good. Hence the SS Tour, make sure that's clean.
Yep.
And they passed us. They said you're good. So we're an official. It's an associate club, is what they call it. But an associate club is just a club that could be based off of anything. And you usually play a different course every time, which is what we do. But yeah, the actual process of doing it wasn't too difficult.
Okay. So it's a matter of just kind of figuring out how to actually fill everything out, and then it's more of just a waiting process once they kind of go through it. What about like the golf courses itself? Has it been difficult to like, hey, this is what we want to do? Because I know like when we hosted our tournament, apologize if you hear the sirens, we're downtown here, so you get those occasionally. So if you hear those, don't worry, we're okay. It's just kind of part of the routine of living downtown. Well, besides Dom's back, maybe the ambulance. That's what it is. I'm actually
that's what they're coming for you, Dom.
The ambulance.
I live in San Francisco, so I hear plenty of sirens. Don't worry.
Okay, yeah. So the drill. But as far as like when we were trying to find as far as golf courses for our event, I know that was kind of a difficult task.
This one or the last one?
This one.
Oh God, that sucks.
So and it was because more like the time of the year. So has that been an issue? I mean, like you said, you have multiple golf courses, so I figured like that would be kind of a tall task.
That's probably one of the toughest things is scheduling, right? And trying to find the courses that are available. And then sometimes courses will come back and be like, oh, I'm so sorry, we double booked you. That happened this year on my birthday tournament of all times. Like they called and they're like, oh, we double booked your tournament with another club.
So did you guys cancel them then? It's my birthday, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's what I tried to push back. And he gave me a good deal afterwards, but I couldn't make it work. And it sucked. Sure. But scheduling is probably one of the most difficult things. But I think for the most part, I've been able to get most of the courses that I wanted to get, for sure. I was just going to say, doing a lot of different courses makes it a little bit tricky because sometimes that schedule has to be adjusted. But for the most part, it's been pretty simple.
So like on a given event, how many players are normally playing?
So on our events, because we've grown so much, like at the beginning, we started with like around 16 players per event, maybe 20. Yep. Now that we have about 100 members, we're looking at like 40 players per event. But until you get like really big and you have like 100, 120, that's when you can do like shotgun events, which makes it easier because everybody finishes at the same time. But right now, since we're doing straight and everybody goes out and comes back, you don't want people waiting around for like 2 hours after an event. So I try to keep it between like 36 to 40 players.
Okay. Has Live Golf or PGA Tour try to reach out to you to try to get some insight on how to run a tournament? Or get a DM from Greg Norman.
That'd be hilarious. If he wants to throw me like 50 million for what we do, he can pick it up. I'll give him some ideas. Yeah.
There you go. Exactly. No, but again, going back to like the USG, I like that as far as being able to keep your own score, because that is the one thing. Like I played in like plenty of scramble tournaments, and those are a lot of fun, right? I love the scramble events. However, like if you're playing really well and maybe like your partners or maybe they're not, or vice versa, like you can't really enter that score in. You know, and it is a scramble event, but at the end of the day, like if your swing's feeling pretty good and you're hitting the ball pretty well, like it'd be nice to kind of keep track of your own score versus. So I guess it really depends on like what kind of term you're playing in, but I do like that aspect.
Yeah. And I think most of the response has been pretty good about that too. People want to know what they score. The handicap system's great because you can clearly see where your skill level's going. It's going up, it's going down. And yeah, I've always been a big advocate of that. So
Yeah.
People who join, they're really excited because they like the idea that they now get an official handicap and they know exactly where their skill exists. Whereas before, somebody might ask you what your handicap is and you have no idea, but now you'll actually know.
Yeah.
So to join, do you have to have a handicap, or will you get one from playing?
So no, you don't have to have one when you join. If you don't have one, we'll set you up. All I ask is like, what's your average score? You know, and then your first event, you always play to 50% of what your handicap is or estimated handicap, just to rule out any sandbagging. You know, because that does happen whenever you're in with like net golf. But for the most part, we got like 98% of our guys have all been awesome. We only had to kick one guy out, so we're in a good space right now.
Well, that's a pretty good,
It's a good rate.
Yeah, a good rate.
Yeah.
Ratio.
If he's listening, you know who you are.
Yeah, exactly. He's not listening.
The shit show tour.
Yeah, how do you get kicked out of the shit show tour? That's literally like.
That's exactly what I asked too when it happened. We had a whole incident where I'm dealing with like two 60-plus-year-old men fighting on the golf course over like a silly ass rule of using a scope to measure how far the hole was. It was absurd. It was an absurd argument.
That is a good definition of a shit show right there, though.
Yeah, no, it is for sure.
Kind of going back to the memberships, like Dom asked, like it's included. But what you have like the monthly ultimate. Can you lay out the different memberships you offer and like what they include?
Yeah. So there's 4 memberships right now. I might change that next year because it gets a little bit confusing. But essentially, there's a light membership, which I created that just for people that are kind of unsure about their first time in club golf. They're probably not going to be able to play 17 events. They'll probably only play a couple. So it's a much lower rate because you're not buying into the championship at the end of the year, because that's why the payment's higher on the other ones, is because you're not buying in all the way. Okay. But at least it gets you access to every event, and it gets you an official handicap if you don't already have one. And if you choose to upgrade later, you can. So that's kind of the light membership. Keeps it easy for people that only want to play a couple times a year. And then there's a bring your own, which I created because there's some players, especially up here, there's so many golf courses. There's some players that play in multiple leagues, right? And they don't want to pay the extra like fees to have an additional handicap through a different league. So it's just, you essentially just bring your handicap from a different league into ours. So there's certain events you can't play in if you do that, but it saves you money. And then the ultimate is basically the full package, where you have the membership, which gets you access to all of the events, gets your handicap, and it gets you the buy-in into the championships, so that we can actually pay out players, because there's something like just that much more exciting when you actually have money on the line. You know, like our championship last year, it was an absolute shit show because it was dumping rain sideways for 2 straight days, but you got 36 guys out there vying for $1,200. You know, that putt at the end is going to matter. It's kind of like that excitement, you know? So that's what the ultimate buys you into that experience, basically.
So that's actually my big fear when we go out there, is it's going to dump rain.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that video from
Beard Set
Half Moon from Beard?
Yeah, that was wild.
Don't get me started on that.
Yeah, because
the rain's been terrible.
I was gonna say it's normally pretty dry for them.
Do you want snow?
Yeah, I'd say we got.
I have perspective. Oh my god, no. Yeah, I definitely have perspective. I definitely don't want the snow. I'm not a big snow guy myself, but I definitely don't like the rain and the wet either. We're not equipped for that shit out here.
Yeah, I like
It's been
the
so
snow.
hard for scheduling
3
golf.
days.
I bet.
Yeah.
That's what our last tournament, our first tournament we hosted was in June, and we are like, and it almost rained that day, but it actually turned out to be a really good day.
The morning of, it was like an 80% chance of thunderstorms, and I woke up because I think I woke up before everybody because I had to get there first. I was like, "There's no way, no, we're gonna get rained out." And then as I get there, it just like opens up, and TJ and I, TJ's the course pro, he's like, "Dude, it's gonna be beautiful," and I was like, "I would have been pumped if it rained. I don't care."
It's one thing to rain, but yeah, when you have like torrential downpour with the high winds, it just makes a difference. That is I was actually going to ask you about that. Is that something that you've ran into as far as like more like the mother nature, like running into these tournaments? And like, if so, like what happens?
I have very much firsthand experience with that this year for sure. It's been the weather we've had in California this year has been insane and really hard to navigate for a golf course, or a golf course, and for a golf club like us. So yeah, every tournament this year has had rain issues, and I'm not used to that. We went 17 events last year, and it only rained on the last one. This year it's rained on everyone.
Kind of rare for the most part, at least for that amount of rain. Correct?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's super rare. This is not. Yeah. I mean, I guess it kind of used to. I guess it's because of perspective. We've been in a drought for so long. Sure. We haven't experienced it, and now we're getting all this wet weather, and we don't know what to do with ourselves.
The heck is
kind of that issue? Yeah, exactly. Like this last weekend, we had an event, and I was tracking the weather every single day to see where it was at. And one day it would say 0% chance we're going to be good. It's going to be clear skies. Next day, okay, it'll rain for like a couple hours. Then the next day it's going to be like downpour the entire time. So when I'm looking at that, all my members are looking at it and they're messaging me like, hey, what's going on? Are we going to bail out of this tournament? Or are you going to cancel? Are you going to reschedule? Like, so I get blown up messages about that. And I think for the most part, most players just wanted to play again. And so thank God we did, because it was dumping rain at the beginning of the round on Sunday, but then it eventually kind of cleared up and got a little bit better. But yeah, it's been rough.
Yeah. Not to keep on bouncing back and forth, but I did want to ask one other thing about the membership. Does the membership include like the around a golfer? Is that you have to pay for that like upon like arrival at the tournament?
No, so it's not included. The membership just gets you into the league, gets you access to all of our events. And then each event you pay for on our website. So
okay, that's what I kind of figured, because that would be like the world's cheapest like league to sign up for if you didn't have to pay for the rounds of golf. But I just wanted to ask just to make sure.
No, it's a great question. I get it a lot, so I understand.
Yeah. It's because again, I'm like thinking like the prices itself are still very reasonable. Like the light, going back to that, I think it's like $79 or $80 or something like that. Is that something that you said it doesn't get you into all the events, but all the other?
He said it gets them to all events, but not the championship.
Oh yeah, the championship.
Exactly.
Yes. So what is the championship event, and do you have to play a certain amount of events to like qualify for the championship event?
Yeah. So we do have a requirement that players play at least 5 of the 17 events if they join for the entire year. If they join like kind of halfway through, then just play 3. You just don't want a situation where somebody comes in, dominates 2 events. They didn't really invest that much into it, and then they steal away the championship. So yeah, we do a 5 event minimum if you're going to compete in the championship. And then if you win an event anytime, you can get an exemption into the championships as well. And this year we have a multitude of championships, which you're buying into when you get that ultimate membership. We have a team championship, and we have an individual championship, and then we have a putting championship as well. So keep it exciting. Yeah,
that's awesome. So you guys haven't like adopted like the NBA rest, or you guys make sure that you guys are invested and keep playing in the
exactly. Yeah.
Although now the NBA, I don't know if you heard, but they might do like a certain minimum of games to win major awards.
Yep, I did hear that.
Oh, really?
Which is probably a good move. I mean,
because you have players like LeBron who will rest and then win MVP, and you're like, bro.
Yeah, now he's legitimately hurt, but still, yeah, he would.
He's always hurt.
He's
always hurt or always looking for an excuse to rest. You know, that shit sucks because
hard to control.
People are playing.
But sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Jeremy.
No, you're good, dude. Yeah, just like you got people paying good money to go watch these guys, right? And then you show up, and then they're sitting on the bench, suited up. That shit sucks.
Yeah, you get to the game, and you're
especially if they're not injured. Like obviously, right now he's got an issue, which makes sense, but I think they're trying to avoid it for that exact reason, where maybe I can't say the Wolves because like the Wolves
and did make that very clear though. That was like the one thing about he kind of made that comment about.
You know, like maybe you're like 10 years old and you really want to see Anthony Edwards play, and then Anthony Edwards is like just chilling on the bench, not hurt. You'd be like, well, I don't care to watch the backup play, you know?
Right. First off, the tickets are expensive, and then anything in the arena is ridiculously expensive.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, beer's like $13, and I'm sure it's probably way more over in that area.
Yeah, it is. It can get ridiculous.
Yeah. But, so it's not like a regular take, the kids to a movie type of thing. Even that, is insane.
That's like the perk of us having a bad team is it's like it's not worth raising it.
They're trying to
I was going to say I can feel for you guys because I'm a lifelong Sacramento Kings fan. So we have that record for not making it to the playoffs.
I was going to say
longer than y'all do.
Yeah. But you what, second or third seed right now?
So we're doing well this year. Knock on wood. It's been a great season.
I'm not a huge basketball guy, but like I love De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah. What's not to love about him, man?
Exactly.
Such a nice guy, so electric, so fast.
I wish he'd grow his hair back.
He's super.
I loved when he was doing the Dragon Ball Z look. That shit was awesome.
He's so good.
Well, and then the move they made for Sabonis I like that move as well.
That was huge.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but they've been making moves like that for fucking like my entire life, and it never pans out. So thank God it's actually working this year.
Yep. It's funny because we do have so much in common because actually when you guys were pretty relative, it was the same time when the Timberwolves were relative with KG. You had Chris Webber and Stojakovic and all those guys. And that's actually when we
forgot about Chris Webber.
Chris Webber.
Chris Webber is the man.
Chris Webber was a beast, yeah. But again, like that was like 05, 06. Same thing when we were actually relevant.
I was a big Boogie fan too.
DeMarcus Cousins.
Boogie.
He was a beast.
I did too, but he was the only guy we had. That was a problem.
That was the problem.
He put up 40 every night, but the team only scores 85 points. It doesn't really do much for us.
Exactly. Okay, one of my all-time favorite old school basketball players, though, and I don't know if you know, but it's got to be Jason Williams.
Oh, Jason Williams, he's the man. I love that guy. Good. So many moves. Yeah, his passing was ridiculous. It was insane. You can find anybody on the court. Yeah.
And Mike Bibby was awesome too. Yeah, I'm glad we're talking about
Bibby. Yeah.
I'm glad we're talking about. I'm 33, so I have a little bit. I'm a big NBA fan, or I was a really big NBA fan. I still am, but not as much as I used to.
I won't say my age, and we're gonna leave it at that.
he's definitely younger. Than
not of our age. I'm 34, so I get it.
Okay, so we're very. We kind of are in that.
Yeah,
same
I'm
ball.
not of your age. Like when KG was drafted, I was not born.
Oh man, that makes me feel really old when you say shit like that.
That's how I feel.
But like KG's my favorite. I loved Wally.
Wally.
Zerbiak was the man. One of my favorite players who was not a Timberwolf. I love Jason Kidd.
Oh yeah. Jason Kidd was shit.
His court vision was unreal, and actually it was don't remember who was talking about it. It was
Sorry, we get off topic. This is kind of how we roll.
I love it. We can talk sports, food all day long.
What's his name? The honey guy.
From what team?
He played for the J.R. Smith.
Oh, J.R. Smith.
Smith.
J.R.
And then another guy I always recognize, but can never remember his name. Jason Kidd told him, "Hey, just stand there and we'll get you 30." And Jason Kidd, he came out of nowhere, passing the ball, and he's like,
he was so.
And the guy who got the ball was like, "Holy shit, I'm open." Drained it. And you're just like, oh my god.
Two little nuggets for you. Well, one here, I don't know if you guys follow the NFL, but David Montgomery just signed a 3-year deal with the Lions.
I didn't even know he's a free agent.
Oh
yeah,
shit!
That's kind of crazy. I did
not.
Yeah,
I didn't know he's a free agent either.
I didn't either. Well, because the rumor is Bears are going after Bijan.
Oh, okay.
In the draft.
3-year, $18 million deal with 11 guaranteed.
Oh man, what's going to happen to Jamal?
We'll see. But going back to one other thing, and then we'll kind of bounce back to your.
It's going to bug me if I can't remember the guy's name.
We were talking about the whole ticket thing being expensive. So when Kevin Garnett, that was my brother's favorite basketball player of like all time as well. And when he got traded,
Iman Shumpert.
Oh, Iman Shumpert.
Because they were all on the
the Knicks.
They were all on the Knicks together at one point, and Shumpert was saying that Jason Kidd told him, "Hey, stand there, and we'll get you 30." He's like, "Yeah, I saw this dude run down, doing all this stuff, and pass it to me." And he's like, "This is what it's like to be open." Yep. And he'd be like, "Yeah, Jason Kidd might get 5 points, but he might account for 50." And you're like, "That's the type of play that I'm really into."
Yeah, big time.
Other than
facilitator for sure. But but I had bought tickets. It was like a Christmas gift for my brother when Kevin Garnett with the Celtics came back to the Wolves, and literally like that game he ended up not playing because he like had got like injured like a couple days before that. So like we got to see him. They did like a thing of like, you know, introducing him and all that, but it just wasn't the same. Actually, not being able to see him on the court, but that does kind of suck. But in any case, yeah, we
got to. I never saw KG play.
Yeah, he was best Timberwolf
because I am not.
Oh, for sure. Name recognition around the best shit talker in the game, right? Yeah,
100%.
We used to claim that. We used to do this segment where it's like if you could invite people to play golf with you, who would you be? I'd always pick Kevin Garnett because I'd want him to talk shit to me, just like get me amped up. But then like part of me thinks I'd cry.
Who was I don't know if you've heard this story about Kevin Garnett, but it was pretty cool. Do you remember Big Baby Davis?
Oh yeah, I remember Big Baby Davis. Whatever happened to him anyway?
I don't know.
Didn't he go to jail?
He just kind of disappeared.
I don't know if he did. I
think he went to jail with like fraud.
Maybe. I'm not sure, but in any case, he was telling us
there was a group of vets like
you should
scamming the NBA.
Fact check that.
What's his name?
Just look up Big Baby Davis. I think it was Glenn Davis is his name. I think
that sounds right. Yeah.
But so anyway, long story short, he was on an airplane when he was playing for the Boston Celtics with Kevin Garnett, and they were having an arm wrestling competition. And apparently, like Big Baby Davis was like beating everyone, right? And then Kevin Garnett was sitting like in the back of the plane, and, like caught wind of this whole thing, and so he decided like, this guy's not gonna beat me, you know. So he goes up there, arm wrestles him, gets in there like 2 seconds, slams his arm down, and told him that he's the effing alpha male, and there's only one alpha male, and that's me. And then it went sat back down on the plane.
Oh my god, that is
those
awesome.
Those are like crazy stories.
So yeah, on October 7th, 2021, Davis, along with 18 other former NBA players, was indicted by a federal grand jury in the Southern District of New York on charges of conspiracy to commit health fraud and wire fraud for allegedly defrauding the NBA's health and welfare benefit plan.
I'm more impressed that you remember that. Like how you pulled that out.
That's good knowledge right there from you. I can't believe that.
You're not even like the biggest NBA.
I have
ADD. You just kept that little nugget back there waiting for one moment to drop it.
I have ADD, so sometimes like somebody will say a name and I'm like,
bam!
That's exactly why I remembered
It's got like a library in his head.
The Shumpert and J.R. Smith story.
Sure,
that's the exact reason. I think isn't Iman Shumpert married to
somebody famous?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
could be.
I think that sounds right.
And then he won Dancing with the Stars.
Oh yeah, he did win Dancing with the Stars.
But yeah, I just remember that because I was like, God, Jason Kidd was the man.
He was. He was. Sorry, we do these we call them. Well, I just call them TV timeouts. We just get interrupted and we start talking about other things.
My EDD's going crazy.
But so back to the shit show tour. Do you have like some major sponsors that kind of help you out with like prizes, or like what kind of other prizes do you offer? Because I know you said that you have some cash prizes. Do you guys do like
keep in mind Jordan listens weekly?
I was gonna say yeah.
I was gonna talk so much shit about Jordan right now. I was so excited to do it. Yeah. No, Odin for sure, and you guys are very familiar. Yeah, they were Jordan was actually the first one to reach out to me. Before we were brand new too as well. I don't even know how he found us, but yeah, so Odin for sure. Biggest sponsor. Love those guys. Jordan always hooks us up. He's just such good people for sure. And he's introduced us to so many awesome people as well, like yourself. So it's yeah. So for sure, Odin. Our next biggest sponsor, which has been really dope, which I just landed, was Lagunitas Brewery. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but they're a huge one. Yeah, so they're big. So I just landed them. Had a great call with them like a month ago, and went out to the brewery, met them, and they love what we do. We kind of match their vibe about what their brewery's about. And so, yeah, they throw us a bunch of beer for every tournament. So I get to throw that up as prizes. So that's pretty exciting. Yeah.
So that's the Lagunitas IPA.
It is. Yeah. That's what I'm drinking right now. This shit.
So I'm a big IPA guy myself. Right now I've been trying to, I've cut it out for the 40 days right now. I'm trying to go 40 days without drinking. I like the IPAs, but so
that's the type of beer I dump out.
Yeah, he doesn't like IPAs. I love them. But that is really cool. That is a really big sponsor. So is there brewery right out like in that neck of the woods?
Yeah, it's in the Bay. So it's in Petaluma, which is probably about 45 minutes north.
We're going to the brewery. We're all going to the brewery.
Hell yeah. Dude, absolutely.
Yeah,
I need
we
to
have a
ask
little
you though,
travel list of what we want to do, so we're gonna throw that on there right now. We'll
I gotta make sure I
definitely.
spell it. Otherwise, it's gonna be like Lagoon Brewery.
Lagunitas, yeah.
Lagunitas, dude, it's such a good time, and that's the coolest brewery. But it's huge too. When you go there, you'll be shocked. It's like Disneyland for drinkers. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could go to Disney World, go to Epcot, and just drink around the world.
I mean, you could do that too. Yeah.
Probably be a little bit more expensive, but
a little bit more. They'll upcharge for the beer, and I bet you it won't be as good. That would suck.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna hit that up when we're out there. That would be a good time for sure. So that's a really big sponsor. That's very cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's one of the more exciting sponsors for sure that I'm pretty stoked about. And we got them, and then we got a couple like small some merchandise companies will reach out sometimes, and I'll put up some of their stuff for particular events. Capel, they do gloves. I love their gloves, so they've been really cool hooking us up with discounts. So we have a lot of discount ones too, like ones that throw us codes, and we'll throw them to the players. So essentially, when you join the tour, you get access to special codes and discounts for different events.
So if let's just say Dom shows up, he joins the tournament or the ultimate membership. He shows up, wins it. What would you typically get for first place in an event?
Why do I have to win?
I was trying to like pump you up.
That's a very bold statement.
Well, yeah, but I wanted to pump you up.
People are gonna be talking shit. They're like, this dude was just on the podcast and now he's out here winning a tournament and he's winning everything. What the hell's going on? But yeah, typically I set aside prize funds. So there'll be usually for first place, it's around $100. That's credit that you can send back and take off $100 on your next tournament, which is cool. Or you can cash out at the end of the year.
Sure.
And you'll win some Lagunitas. You'll win a 12-pack of Lagunitas of your choice, whatever you want. Odin balls, or some like special merch that we have I got from a sponsor that we have for that particular week. Okay. So there's usually a nice little package that comes along with winning.
And this is why I picked that you won this tournament. So then now let's say that I signed up for the ultimate as well, and we both and I beat you in the the championship tournament. First off, is it held at the same spot is it going to be held at the same spot every year for the championship tournament, or is that going to still be at a different location?
It'll always be at a different location. Okay. So this year we're doing it in San Francisco. In particular because I'm getting married 2 weeks later, so I'm trying to keep it close to home where I'm at.
Well, congratulations!
So, thank you. I'm super stoked.
Yeah,
and so it's going to be in San Francisco, actually at Presidio and TPC Harding Park. Those will be we do 2 courses.
Both courses we wanted to play.
Yeah,
could not get.
I know.
Going out on that. We are going to play Half Moon Bay though.
Oh, you are? Shit.
Yeah. So we're excited for that.
So originally our tournament was supposed to be at Presidio, but we couldn't agree on certain terms.
Yeah, there was some things that we couldn't, but so that looks really nice.
It's super nice. It does not have the views that Half Moon does, so that'll be dope when you guys go out there. And Shoreline, which you set up the tournament for, is going to be cool. Which course did you get for Half Moon?
Ocean course.
Yep. So we're just playing the ocean course basically. So we're going to be out there for like a week. So we're playing that with a couple of the guys that are coming out.
Yeah, we're playing with Beard from Sucker Pen. And chances are he and I are just going to narrate everything.
Yeah, and then
I'll be drunk. And then Brendan from Duffin' Up, and then Derek and I. So there's be 4 of us. Like I said, chances are Beard and I are going to narrate everything and have a good time.
The actual tournament will be held at Shoreline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that you guys
are super nice.
I saw that you guys moved the date though from originally what we talked about. Because I think you were saying like sometime in were you saying April or May? I think originally was
end of May.
Originally it was like over my birthday, because that's what we were doing. It was gonna be like my birthday trip, but also the tournament. Mm-hmm. And then the dates just didn't work for anywhere. Yeah. So we ended up moving it to like early June.
Yeah, that was like literally like the biggest issue with for us was either finding the golf course or the dates just really didn't link up with what we were looking for.
Because what you don't know is we were originally going to do it in like March in Arizona.
Yeah, it was actually going to be in Arizona.
And Jordan actually mentioned that to me. I remember he said it was going to be in Arizona.
Jordan came up with it, and we're like, well, what if because I've always wanted to go to San Francisco. So selfishly, I was like, well, what if we do it in the Bay Area?
Yeah.
Because like Jordan lives around there, and Jordan's like, yeah, we know all sorts of people, and we'll for sure sell it out. And I was like, well, selfishly, let's do that over my birthday.
Yeah.
Just the dates didn't work, so we ended up moving it, and I'm pretty happy we did, just because I think now we're gonna have a little bit better turnout.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. A June date, you're gonna be packed. Yeah. Unfortunately, you did pick a date that is the wedding of one of my best friends.
Oh,
so unfortunately, I won't be able to make it. But you'll definitely have shit show representation for sure. You'll definitely
appreciate
have some
that.
folks.
But well, we'll be out there that Wednesday of that week. So if you're, I don't know if it's
Okay.
an out of town wedding. So I say we'll definitely maybe try to do like to go to like the Lagunitas Brewery or do something.
Mhm.
We're gonna do some things beforehand, so we should definitely link up. That'll be fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%.
As far as like your tournaments go, I feel like we're like having these conversations inside of these conversations. Like I have like all these questions, and then we get
so distracted.
Yeah,
by
I
it.
know my dog is like
Yeah.
sitting on my chair right now, like being my sidekick. But like as far as like your scoring, how do you guys use an app, or like how do you keep track, or is it just like old school and put it on a card and then you go and enter them afterwards?
Yeah, I work in technology for a living. There's no way I could do that paper shit all the time. That shit drives me crazy.
I didn't think so, but I had to ask.
We whenever I have to use paper, I hate it. But so we use an app. Blue Golf was the app we used last year. That's because it came free with the USGA. They got a contract with them and they hooked us up. Then this year they wanted to charge like $4,000 for it up front. Wow. And I didn't even like the technology that much. So I left that. We have a new technology called Easy Golf, which I love. They've been really cool. So that's what we use for every single event. So that basically players enter their gross score into the app, and then the app takes care of everything. Live leaderboards, so you always know where you stand. Keeps it exciting and fun when you're coming down to the end, for sure.
Absolutely. What has been like the hardest part of organizing these events, and like what would you say is like your your favorite part of this whole event, the tournaments, like organizing these tournaments?
Yeah, that's an awesome question. I'd say the hardest part for me is somebody that loves the game of golf, and started this because I wanted to play with people that have the same mindset that I do. My golf game has kind of gone a little bit sideways because of it, because I spend so much time devoted
Not
into
playing
this.
as much. Yeah.
Yeah. So my tricky part that I'm trying to figure out right now is when we get the event set up, where do I put myself in the event? Do I go to the end? Do I go to the middle? And usually when I get there like 2.5 hours early, I set everything up so it's all ready. Got the tent, got the flags, got the whole check-in. And then I don't get a warm up in. So then I show up and cold shank that shit on the first hole or some stuff. And my first couple holes are never good. And so that's probably been one of the hardest parts. And then just a lot of questions, right? Like we have a very wide range of ages and people that are either technologically adequate or not. So I get a lot of questions about that, but I don't really mind that as much. But it's probably my golf game has probably been the hardest part. But the most gratifying part for sure is the feedback. Man, I love that shit. Like putting on cool events and people saying like how much they love it, how they put that shit on the calendar and they're so excited for it. And then when it happens, they have a great time. Even if they don't win, if they finish last, they still had a blast. So that's the most like, exciting part to me. That's the part that makes it so worth all the effort and work, for sure, is that.
As well said. I completely agree. I mean, the first event we held was last June, and it was a lot of work, a lot of time commitment. I mean, I could only imagine having 17 events, and I pretty much, for the most part, kind of was one of my goals. Like, I just want to host a tournament, and it turned out really well. Yeah, I didn't drink until after. I wanted to keep myself just like in case there was anything going on. We did have a lot of help, like my wife and a lot of my friends, and obviously Dom was there too. Like we all we had a good support system to help out, but like all the time and energy and effort that goes into it, just like prepping beforehand, making sure everything is like we set up our tournament was a little ways away from downtown, but we partnered with like a local restaurant / golf simulator company downtown. So we actually rented a coach bus, so you could go down and grab breakfast beforehand, grab a drink, and then they would shuttle you to the golf course. So it was pretty cool.
Awesome.
But it was like the stress of making sure like the bus showed, like just those little things that
logistics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like there was so many people that like afterwards was like, dude, this is one of the coolest tournaments I've ever played in. And like that, like right there was like just made the whole experience well worth it. So, which again, this is kind of why we decided we want to partner up with Jordan and Odin. They're awesome. He's awesome, and it's going to be such a good time just meeting everyone. So, I think that was well said. Are you planning on like expanding like outside of California, or what is your like your goals as far as like if you see yourself in the next couple of years or 5 years with the Shit Show Tour?
Yeah. I've definitely had people hit me up from like the East Coast that want to like the question I get the most is like, why don't we have something like this out here, wherever you are, whatever part of the country you're in, like, why doesn't this exist? And that's kind of why I created it in the first place. Cause like so many guys were like, oh, me and my buddies wanted to do something like this, but we never could. And so like now it's here. So I'm trying to build a blueprint that we could easily be transferable anywhere else. And if it falls under the heading of the SS Tour Incorporated, that's perfect. So in my perfect world, I want to expand down to Southern California first. And open up a couple different branches down there of the tour. Kind of have NorCal and SoCal like compete.
Sure.
And then, and then kind of go from there, jump out to different states, maybe Washington, Nevada, maybe go across, kind of just create this package that, somebody else could get and take with them somewhere else.
Sorry, my dog just is playing the toy and tried to break Dom's stomach/back. Yeah, she went out of nowhere. It's a little 7-pound toy poodle.
He looks so little.
Yeah, she's teeny.
I got a 71-pound border collie mix at home. So yeah.
Dom has like a 30. What do you have again? A 30, like a 35, 40 pound.
Oh no, she's a 50-pound Rottweiler.
Oh, 50-pound Rottweiler.
Oh shit.
Super friendly though.
Oh yeah, Rottweilers are the best. I love those dogs. Yeah. Your dog's probably more of a terror than that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's crazy. She's like obsessed with my wife, and she's not. We got her during COVID, so she's not really like a big dog person. Well, we couldn't really bring her around dogs for the most part.
Yeah.
So, but she's a little crazy dog. But we love her. So
dogs are the best, man.
They really are. Okay, so we're heading out there. Obviously, we're gonna hit up Lagunitas when we're out there. But what are if we're gonna meet up and go grab some grub? What are some hot?
If you go down to SoCal, we got a crew for you.
Yeah,
to go Pharaohs.
You got some people.
Oh yeah, Los Golferos. Heck yeah.
Who is it?
Los Golferos.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, they're down.
They always have different events.
Yeah, they're always out doing stuff.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
They're
it's
actually
about collabs.
Yeah,
that's what this is all about. Like that's one cool thing about like Jordan and Odin is because it's bringing a lot of different clubs together. I got to meet like 5 or 6 different clubs at this last Odin day up here. So I love it.
Like everybody in our group chat.
Yeah, well, I was telling beforehand, like I'm like, dude, I'm pretty sure Jordan has like the world's biggest like contact list of.
I think he does.
It's like he's such a legit guy too. We love Jordan, but
oh yeah,
we do expand
love that guy.
Yeah, there you go. Hit him up. Absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
Awesome. But yeah, so like we're gonna go get some grub. Where are we heading?
Well, I mean, it depends on what you're trying to get, right?
I'm gonna go Mexican food right off the bat for sure.
Yeah, so you can't go wrong anywhere in the well, we have certain districts out here for sure in San Francisco, right? And I don't know if you ever heard of Senior Sisig. That's my favorite Mexican spot. It's a Filipino Mexican like fusion for sure.
Okay,
it's really good.
Senior Sisig, is that what you said?
It's called Senior Sisig.
Is it better than Taco Bell?
Oh gosh,
I
don't eat Taco Bell.
I love
just a little bit better for sure.
Higher end. I haven't had Taco Bell literally in like probably 8 to 10 years.
Last week, baby.
But the food scene.
Is it like an authentic Is it like an authentic Mexican food, or is it because it's like a hybrid? It's like more of like a bougie type of taco type place, or
no, it's definitely more of like a hybrid for sure because you get the Filipino Mexican twist. But yeah, there's so many good spots out here, dude. So much good food everywhere. So that would probably be like the Mexican joint. And then there's, if you want pizza, got some really good pizzas like Tony's and in North Beach. That's where like all the Italian and pizza joints are at. Is out there. Out where we're at, there's hella good Asian food. So we're surrounded by it.
City's looking for a good burger. Where would you go?
A good burger. Let's see. Gott's is over by the ferry building. Actually, if you guys are out doing like some touristy shit, that place is hella bomb for a good burger.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll make sure to remember that one and look that one.
Oh yeah, I can send y'all a list too. Sometimes it's hard to bring it off the top of the dome, but like I got definitely a list for you guys to hit.
So I think that's like another thing that would be really cool. Like maybe we're onto something, like curate like a list of all these different, like not like to do things, but like a travel like golf itinerary, but literally for like restaurants.
Yeah.
These are like hotspots of where you want. You know what I mean? I think that'd be kind of cool because I feel like so many people travel to go play golf and they have no idea where to go, or like you just want to find that really authentic place that like you wouldn't know of unless you're like a regular or like someone lived in that area. So
yeah, that's why it's critical to talk to people that live in the area, right? Especially for golf. I remember talking to Dom about different golf courses out here when he was asking about where you guys were going to set up your tournament. Yeah, and because there's some courses that might sound cool online, but you're going to get there and it's going to be shit. You guys actually picked a really good one. Shoreline host hella tournaments, so they're built for it. So you're gonna love it out there.
We're excited.
Where are you guys staying when you come out here? You know,
we just booked an Airbnb, so we're staying. I forget the exact area. Dom will send it to you, the location. We'll show you kind of where we're at. So yeah, we'll basically I'll rent the car and we're there for like a week. So we'll be there for a good amount of time. So we'll definitely have to. Like I said,
definitely connect.
For sure. Lagunitas, absolutely. Yeah. Is there anything that maybe I might have missed about like the Shit Show Tour or the SS Tour, we like to call it, if we want to keep it?
You call it the Shit Show, man. That's what everybody calls it. That was the name of it, right? It was created for a reason because golf is often a shit show. That's what most 100%. People say when they get off the course.
I did actually want to ask you. You talked about when you said like the worst part or the hardest part. Are you in the founding members? Do you guys participate in all these tournaments?
We do, yeah. That's actually a big thing for us and for me in particular. It's tough when you're hosting a lot of these events to play in them. But man, I love the game. It's hard not to. I love the competition. It's hard not to get out there and want to play.
So you get a lot of the extra shit talking to you when you're actually like being kind of one of the founders and like they get paired up with you and you're just
fuck yeah. That's that. I notice guys will they'll get a little nervous when they have to play with one of us, but man, they notice from the jump that we just love talking shit and drinking and having a good time. Like the very first thing you'll see when you show up to our event, you'll see a mini bottle mystery bucket. And you're going to stick your hand in and you're going to see what your swing juice for the day is, you know?
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's awesome.
So yeah, it's meant to stay light and fun. Like I'm trying to find that line on competition and fun and try to hold it there because that's what the game is about. And that's why people want to be a part of it.
Well, Jeremy, we really appreciate your time, and honestly, I said hopefully we will see you out in Cali in June, and then let's definitely have you on again. Maybe sometime further down in the off season towards later this year or something like that.
Absolutely, that'd be awesome. I'd love to do it. Thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate it.
I had a blast, and I don't know, I can't speak for Dom, but I had a blast. So
he's struggling with his back issues.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's kind of like and then you got a dog jumping on him too. So,
like I laid down, I'm like, okay, I can stretch it out, and then before I know it, just bam.
So the funny, not that it was funny, but the funny thing, what happened was that she had her little dog toy and she flung it way in the air.
Yeah, so I'm laying down, just kind of stretching my hips out, and then I see this toy.
Yeah,
and then a dog.
So that's why she jumped on Dom. She wasn't purposely. I mean, she could have been mad at Dom, but I don't think that was the intention.
I'm sure it wasn't. Yeah. You're just in a fun position.
Thanks again, man. We had a blast. Honestly, we had a good time, and
same.
Look forward to meeting you in Cali, hopefully. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you, fellas. Again, appreciate it.
Keep up the great work, man. Like I said, that's pretty impressive. Like I said, we're hosting one tournament and partnering with someone else is a lot of work, but I couldn't imagine with 17. So that's awesome.
Like I said, it makes it worth it when everybody has a great time. And again, that's what this tour is about. It's for everybody, right? So you guys can be honorary members anytime. Come through.
Awesome. Hell yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, we'll definitely try to get down the road. Love to have one here in the Midwest of Minnesota. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe we can hop on if Sacramento and the Wolves end up playing each other. How about that?
Yes, love that shit. That'd be great.
So, all right, brother.
All right, fellas.
Yeah, we can do like a live reaction. We can have it streaming. We can just do like a like part of the game or something like that. That'd be kind of cool.
Do a little happy hour and talking shit to see where the game's going.
Maybe we can get like multiple people on, but I don't know who all likes basketball, but tonight.
Play each other.
We can find them.
Awesome. Thanks again, man. Take care.
All right, fellas. Take care. Thank you.
Yep. Appreciate it.